Johnny sat in his Los Angeles mansion, exhausted after a long day of filming for his latest movie. As the night drew in, he poured himself a glass of whiskey and sat by the fire, hoping for some peace and quiet. But his rest was soon disrupted by a frantic phone call from his friend, the renowned cellist Yo-Yo Ma. "Johnny, I'm in big trouble. Meghan Markle just tried to bribe me." Yo-Yo gasped down the phone. Johnny sat up with a jolt. "Meghan? As in the Duchess of Sussex Meghan?" he asked in disbelief. Yo-Yo explained that he was celebrating the 30th anniversary of his Grammy-winning album Songs from the Forest, with a special comeback concert at the Hollywood Bowl. At first, she said she was a big fan and wanted tickets. But then she asked if there was any way she could get a front-row seat as a personal favor. When I said the show was sold out, she implied she could make a sizable donation to my charity if I found her a good spot. Johnny sighed and rubbed his temples. "That does sound fishy. But are you sure it was a bribe and not just a misunderstanding?" he said, trying to remain objective.
Yo-Yo was adamant.
"I've met a lot of celebs over the years, and her manner was definitely off. She kept implying more money could appear if I helped her out. It really creeped me out." Johnny had to agree. It didn't sound good. "All right, I'll send some cops over to question her. Try not to worry, we'll get to the bottom of this. You focus on your show." Johnny hung up and called the LAPD, concerned for his friend. 2 officers were dispatched to Meghan's nearby mansion to investigate. When the police arrived, Meghan greeted them warmly at the door. "Officers, how can I help? Is everything okay?" But her smile faded as they explained the reasons for their visit. "Yo-Yo Ma has alleged that you attempted to bribe him for concert tickets, Ms. Markle. He said you implied you could make a large charitable donation in exchange for preferential treatment. Can you clarify what happened during your conversation?" Meghan's eyes widened in shock. "That is absolutely not what occurred," she said firmly. "Yo-Yo is a friend. I would never try to bribe or pressure him in any way. I merely asked if he could pull some strings since it's such a special event, but of course accepted his answer like any reasonable person would." The officers glanced at each other, unconvinced. "With all due respect, ma'am, that doesn't quite line up with Mr. Ma's account. He seemed pretty certain you were trying to buy tickets underhandedly. Can anyone corroborate your version of events?" Meghan frowned. "No, we spoke privately. But I promise you, any donation I make is purely philanthropic. I would never try to gain an unfair advantage that way." She exchanged phone numbers with the police, insisting they were welcome to follow up if needed. But the officers left still suspicious of her motives. Johnny got a call from them that evening. "She lawyered up pretty quick, which doesn't look great for her innocence," one officer shared. "And without a witness, it's her word against Ma's. Tough case without a smoking gun. But we'll keep digging. Thanks for flagging it." Johnny thanked them for their efforts and wished them luck, concerned for his friend's credibility. The next day, tabloid headlines blared, "Meghan accused of bribe attempt." Yo-Yo stayed quiet but was shaken by the ordeal. Meanwhile, Meghan appeared on talk shows denying all wrongdoing. "These baseless allegations are an obvious smear campaign," she told viewers tearfully. "I would never compromise my principles or the law. Sadly, this is just the latest in a string of unfair attacks against me." Public opinion was divided. Some rallied to believe women, while others found Meghan's convenient martyr narrative doubtful. The story threatened to spiral out of control. Johnny felt he had to do more to get to the bottom of it, so he paid Meghan an unannounced visit. "Johnny, what a surprise." Come in," she greeted him warmly. But Johnny got straight to the point. "Cut the act, Meghan. I know Yo-Yo, and he doesn't lie. What really happened between you two?" Meghan's smile faltered. "I already told the police officers everything. Why must this keep being dredged up?" Johnny sighed impatiently. "Because something doesn't add up. Yo-Yo is one of the most respected musicians alive. He has no reason to make this up. But you've always been ambitious and image-obsessed." Hurt flashed across her face, but then her expression hardened. "How dare you accuse me of such cruel fabrications? I am the victim here of sly character assassination. If you truly believed in justice, you would defend me against these slurs on my honor." Johnny wasn't buying it. "Your crocodile tears don't work on me. Now tell me the truth. What really went down with Yo-Yo?" Meghan hesitated, calculating her next move. But then a cunning look came over her face. "All right, Fine. Perhaps I was a bit forceful in requesting assistance. But can you blame a girl for trying in this cutthroat town? Yo-Yo overreacted, a simple misunderstanding, she said with a shrug. Johnny's eyes narrowed. Aha, so you admit it was a bribe attempt. I knew Yo-Yo wouldn't lie. You tried worming your way in underhandedly and got caught. Meghan opened her mouth to protest, but Johnny held up a hand. Don't bother denying it further. Now the police can pursue this as the criminal matter it is. Consider yourself lucky I'm the one who found out and not some TMZ reporter. Your reputation wouldn't survive that. Thanks for finally telling the truth, Meghan. I'll see you in court. With that, he showed himself out, firing off texts to the authorities. Meghan collapsed into an armchair, trembling with anger and fear at how badly her scheme had backfired. She thought she had the whole town fooled, but Johnny Depp had outsmarted her in the end. Sure enough, the police were able to formally charge Meghan with attempted bribery based on Johnny's witness testimony of her confession. Her initial denials fell apart and public opinion turned sharply against her. Even her most loyal celebrity allies abandoned her, not wanting the scandal to tarnish their own brands. She was becoming a pariah in Hollywood. At the arraignment, she pleaded not guilty, but things were not looking good. Johnny and Yo-Yo, meanwhile, bonded even closer over their harrowing ordeal. Yo-Yo threw a celebratory party for finally exposing the truth, inviting all their mutual friends. To justice prevailing in the end, Yo-Yo toasted as they glanced smugly at media coverage of Meghan's rapid downfall. On the day of the trial, the courtroom was jam-packed with onlookers eager to see Meghan's dramatic comeuppance. Her expensive lawyers tried painting Meghan as an innocent victim of a sinister conspiracy, but the prosecution was ready. They called Johnny and Yo-Yo to corroborate the damning evidence, Johnny recounting Meghan's guilty admission, and Yo-Yo vividly retelling the coercive exchange. Texts and phone records further backed up their version of events. The jury didn't need long to deliberate. When the guilty verdict was read out, gasps and cheers erupted throughout the chamber. Meghan crumpled in stunned disgrace as handcuffs were clamped on. Her fame and status were ruined in an instant. Today, Meghan remains serving a 2-year sentence behind bars. Johnny and Yo-Yo go from strength to strength, while Meghan's story serves as a cautionary tale of greed and deception. Ultimately, integrity and honesty prevailed over flashy lies and manipulation, and one man's determination uncovered the disturbing truth. While most praised Johnny and Yo-Yo as heroes for taking down a corrupt celebrity, not everyone was pleased with their tactics. Some thought they went too far by personally confronting Meghan and working so closely with police. A small contingent of Meghan's diehard fans called Johnny and Yo-Yo bullies for ganging up on her. They argued Johnny pressured a confession rather than letting due process take its course. A few outlets ran op-eds questioning if Johnny overstepped as a private citizen. Yo-Yo shrugged it off, secure in his moral high ground. But Johnny was stung by the criticism, having only tried to help an old friend. He privately worried exposing Meghan may damage his own image over time. To address the backlash, Yo-Yo gave interviews stressing the importance of integrity in their industry. I had to stand up against wrongdoing, regardless of consequences, he said nobly. But some still saw them as vigilantes who snatched the system's role. Then an unexpected defender emerged, Meghan's own lawyers. They filed an appeal claiming Johnny and Yo-Yo had tainted the case through undue influence. Their close working relationship with police was supposedly evidence of a coordinated show trial. Johnny braced for the appeal to gain traction and smear his name. To his dismay, some lawyers questioned whether his methods resembled overzealous fans, not officers of the court. He began to regret getting personally involved.